All right. Ever wondered how diet, lifestyle, and mindset could transform cancer care? Join us as we explore revolutionary paths to healing that go far beyond traditional treatments. So, welcome to Talking Business with Ritz, where we bring the human behind or we bring the human experience to the forefront of business and wellness. So I'm Ritzel, Loredo-Rectra, and today we're unlocking natural healing paths that go beyond traditional cancer treatment. So it's all about showcasing the human behind the title before the offer for this show. Let's get inspired by the remarkable story and insights of our expert guests. All right, here we go. Okay. All right. Now, welcome back, everyone, again to the Know the Expert segment. Joining us today on Talking Business with Ritz is someone who truly embodies the idea of impacting the world from the ground up, right? So we have Zakariya Frank. All right. So as a CMO, right? As a CMO of the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education and the voice behind the Health King's Court podcast, Zakariya has dedicated his career to actually teaching others about the power of holistic health. So let's give a warm welcome to our special guest today, Mr. Zakariya Frank. There we go. Hi, Zakariya, or should I call you Zach?
Either are totally fine with me, Ritz. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. It is an absolute pleasure to have you with us today. All right. Now, let's find out more about the person behind the title. Are you ready, Zach?
Let's do it.
All right. Now, let's start with the first question. Let me just switch our view. Here we go. First question. Who is Zakariya Frank as a person?
Hey, I don't know if I even have the answer for that, but I'll do my best, right? I'm still figuring that one out. But, I am someone that genuinely gets fulfillment from assisting others in life and genuinely feels sad or unwell seeing unnecessary suffering in the world, even when it's unnecessary suffering that people bring about on themselves. So I'm someone that just genuinely wants to make a positive impact on this world at an individual level, at a internal mind level, to help people improve their own lives. Because as I've been on my own healing journey, as I've been on my own self-improvement journey, I've experienced greater life fulfillment and greater life enjoyment and results along the way. And I just want to give that back and give that to as many people as I possibly can.
Wow. Now, could you briefly let us know, how did your path begin as an online entrepreneur?
It's funny that kind of has to take us back to what I did when I was a child and my career path and my ideas and my concepts. I was a young man that always knew that the way the world works was kind of weird, right? People just throw you through this pipeline of go to school, go to university, get some job, and nobody's happy with it. But that's what everyone says to do. And so what do you do as a young man? You just get on with it, right? And I've always been interested in psychology, the way the mind works and how people are thinking and the results they're getting based on what they're thinking and how they're interacting with the environment around them. So as I took psychology courses throughout the lower grades of school, I solidified my interest there, and I chose a career path of being a clinical psychologist. I was going to be a counselor, a therapist, whatever you want to call it. And so that's what I attended university for, to get a degree in psychology. After that, well, there's very little you could do with a bachelor's in psychology. Also, I had switched paths even in my head, thinking I didn't want to be a counselor anymore for an assortment of reasons. So I was like, what do I do now? I don't know. Found different jobs to do, ended up in finance. I was working for a big bank. is what it is, and I
Uh-huh.
was working my way up the ladder there. You start at the bottom of the barrel, getting promotions, etc. And it's funny, the job was so easy that I had a lot of time to be on my phone. Like there just wasn't
Mhm.
more work to do. So I'd get the work done, I'd be on my phone, and on my phone, I was exposed to some interesting information about the way the world really works at a core level. What's going on in the food? What's going on in the water? What even is fractional reserve banking? How is this world set up? It's not really in our favor, is it? And I
Correct.
realized that I was a cog in the machine of a big banking institution that was involved in a lot of detriment to society, to keep it clean. And so I just left. I left. I said, "Hey, I'm leaving. I can't do this anymore. It's not sitting right with my soul." And I had no plan other than to figure it out, to
Mm.
do different things and just find a way to make it on my own without being a cog in the machine of a corporate institution. It just wasn't
Mhm.
for me. And so I just dove into different entrepreneurial ventures. You know how it goes. You try this, you try that. I did social media marketing. I did crypto. I
Oh,
did
you
Forex.
did.
I did this, that. Yeah, I did a bunch of stuff. And I've just been refining since there, and that brings me to the here and now with a lot of bumps and bruises along the way. But that's the short answer.
All right. Now it's always inspiring to actually learn about the journeys that shape, our experts like Zach here and help us understand who they are today. Now, I do have a follow-up question. Now, could you share any takeaway or lesson learned in your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I these days live by a variety of tenets and lessons that I keep in mind. But to me, what I keep in mind at the forefront is that rule number one is speed. You have to get things done. Everyone is slow. There's no reason to be slow in business. You're going to lose to those that are faster. There's always someone that's doing the things that you're doing faster. And even if they're not doing it as well as you're going to do it, they're
Mm-hmm.
on the scene first. They're getting the results, right? So there doesn't have to be a conflation of speed and an inverse correlation of quality, right? People have
Yeah.
this concept that if you do it fast, oh, it's going to be bad. You have to take your time. No, do it fast and do it well and do it now because it needs to be done. So I think if there's
Exactly.
one lesson that really drives me forward, it's speed.
Speed. Do it now, right? Just get it done.
That's it. How many people, you'd message people, I'm sure in the podcasting world, you send a
Yeah,
message and, oh, I'll get back to you tomorrow.
exactly.
The time that you took to say that, you could do it now. It's not that hard, but people are lazy and people, don't perhaps have the mental capacity to shift gears as much as they need to and figure things out and just do them. But it doesn't have to be that complicated.
All right. That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Now it's time for the lightning round of questions. We do it now. You ready, Zach?
Let's go.
All right. Let me shift our layout. All right. Now, first question. Here we go. What is your favorite word and why?
Ooh, favorite word. It kind of I go through phases, right? And sometimes I'll think of one and think of another. Favorite word.
Yes. Ding, ding.
I'll say get.
Get.
And what does that mean? It means a lot of people run around saying they have to do things, and that's my least favorite word. Saying when
Uh,
you have to do something. It's a very disgraceful word. It's a very disempowering word. And it's a very unappreciative word. Most people, when they are saying have to do something, if they were to
mhm.
change that to I get to do it, that mental reframe will get them a lot farther in life.
Oh, all right. Interesting. Now, next question. What is your favorite way to start the day?
So I wake up, and contrary to what a lot of people think is healthy and optimal and best, I wake up instantly. I'm on my phone. Instantly, I'm on my
Okay.
phone, checking emails, seeing messages, who's doing what do I need to do, whatever, whatever. And I like to do that. It gets me fired up for the day, etc. I get up, And then after that initial burst of like, okay, assessment of the day, I take my dog, let her outside. I'll spend a couple minutes outside, and then I'll have a bit more of a leisure and relaxation and preparatory moment of the day. Hopefully there's some sunshine that I could absorb as part of that. And I just get to work, whatever work entails that day, whether it's computer work, whether it's housework, whether it's work on the cars. I just like to not waste any time and get to work.
All right. Now, next question. One food you think everyone should include in their diet?
See, that goes against a bit of my core philosophy. It's like, I'm not here to tell people what they should do, right? I most of my food is red meat, but if that's not something that agrees with someone's philosophy or inner body, right? Because our bodies are different, then don't do that. I don't know. One thing everyone should eat. I don't know. Sorry, I don't.
All right. Let's keep that. Now, book that significantly influenced your life.
Book that significantly influenced my life. I don't consider myself a disciple of any religion, but I think anyone can take influence from the Holy Quran.
Yes. All right. Now, next question. One word to describe your approach to life.
Empowerment.
All right. Now, favorite hobby outside of work.
It's funny. I consider everything in life work. Hanging with my dogs.
Hanging with the dog. Okay. So I'm not going to ask you if you're a dog or a cat person.
I love all of God's creatures.
Right. Okay. Now, if you have any superpower, what would it be?
Ooh.
This is an interesting question.
It is. I guess let's say telekinesis.
Telekinesis. All right. I'm not going to ask why. Let's go to the next question.
I only use it for good, I swear.
All right. I agree. I believe you. All right. Now, what is the best advice you've ever received?
Ooh. The best advice I've ever received, probably go back to the rule number one that I try to live by now, and that's speed. Do it now.
All right. Okay. Now, in three words, how would your friends describe you?
He is crazy.
He is crazy. Wow, 3 words. Okay.
Oh, did you want 3 adjectives? All right.
Okay.
You want 3 adjectives? I can think of that. I would say intelligent, caring, and still crazy.
All right. Now, last question. What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh my God. Wow. What advice would I give my younger self? I would give my younger self the advice that you can make it in this world and you will figure this out. And you need to work harder. You need to not waste any time. Don't waste any time.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Zach, for those enlightening answers and for letting us get to know you better.
Thanks, Ritz.
All right. Now, before we continue, if you're liking what you see and what you're hearing right now, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And for those watching live, please keep those questions coming for the Q&A session. Now, let's shift focus in this next segment. All right, here we go. All right, welcome back, amazing Pam Pams, to Learn from the Expert segment. Now that we've gotten to know Zakariya Frank a bit better, it's time to dive into our first subtopic, which is, here we go. Beyond treatment, embracing holistic cancer care. So understanding the causes of cancer is crucial for healthcare innovation. So entrepreneurs like scientists need to actually pinpoint those causes to develop effective solutions. So by grasping what triggers cancer, they can introduce groundbreaking therapies, diagnostic tools, and wellness programs that revolutionizes care and save lives. So Zach, can you describe what holistic cancer care looks like in practice and how does it differ from the conventional approach?
Absolutely. So rather than answering it from a practice standpoint, I have to answer it first from a philosophical standpoint, because
All
that's
right.
what sets the foundation for the practices, of which there's not necessarily a one size fits all. This is what the practice looks like. And
All
so holistic cancer philosophy, and really just holistic health philosophy in general, is operating under the comprehension that all parts of the body and all parts of the human experience itself are inherently connected and inseparable. What does this mean? Well, our organs, our physical body, it's not just a bunch of isolated Mr. Potato Head pieces that we put together and put together and put together, right? They're
right.
also beautifully interwoven and interconnected through nerve lines, lymphatic pathways, energetic meridians, etc. But then even further beyond the physical body, our emotions, our spirit, our mind and mentality, these things have direct connections and correlations to different physical meridians, pathways, and specific organs within our body. And so we have to comprehend systems and systematically approach our care of the body. And so what does this mean in practice, right? Well, it means that when we understand that someone has an issue, whether it be cancer or anything else, we're not just not supposed to, but it's not necessarily optimal to attack those symptoms and just hope that the body and that human around those symptoms doesn't take too much collateral damage away or along the way. Our approach is that this is a whole person with a lot of things going on. We need to make sure that we find what has brought them to this state of temporary unwellness in the first place. And then only from there, from comprehending that root cause, can we work to remedy and right what has been wrong within them. Whether that is on the physical poison side of things, if they've been exposed to a myriad of toxins that have accrued in their body and put the states in a state of unwellness, and perhaps their healing detoxification pathways have been clogged up and blocked up, and those aren't operating properly. But we also consider the emotional and energetic poison as well. What's going on behind the scenes of that body? What kind of trauma is that person facing? What kind of habits mentally and emotionally are that person living with that can very well have a negative impact on a cellular level and contribute to instances of cancer as well? So that's the philosophy behind the approach that's fundamentally different from the conventional avenues that do what I mentioned before of attack a tumor, hope that the person doesn't take collateral damage along the way enough that it kills them.
Right. Okay. Now, what are the core components of holistic cancer care that you believe every patient should consider incorporating into their treatment plan?
Yeah. Well, the first one, like I mentioned previously, is physical toxins and poisons, right? The modern world is so full of things that expose you to physical toxins, whether it's your food, of course, but also your water, also the air you're breathing in your own home, also the different things that you even have in your home. What are you cleaning your house with? What are you know what I'm saying? All these chemicals that we're so inundated with on a day-to-day level, especially if we are not conscious of what these chemicals could be doing and take conscious efforts to avoid them, they add up. They don't go nowhere. They go into the body. And the body, though we've been blessed with beautiful detoxification pathways and avenues, it can only take so much abuse. It can only take so much before it'll start raising red flags, and we push past that. And then it'll start, flashing the lights, and then the alarm bells start ringing. And then next thing you know, we have cancer or some sort of other ailment. But there's usually some flags and some flashing lights along the way that unfortunately a lot of people ignore. And beyond the physical side of things, like I was saying, we have to consider emotionally and energetically how we are existing and what our emotional diet is. When we live in a constant state of unhealthy stress, of fear, of unwellness, of unprocessed trauma and emotional energy, well, energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. And
Yeah.
so when we don't have healthy avenues and pathways, or even unhealthy avenues is better than none, of purging strong emotional negative charges that just happen in life. Things happen that get us charged up. It's going to happen. If we don't have avenues of getting that energy out, well, again, our body has been blessed with so many avenues to protect us consciously, such as taking that energy, tucking it away for so long until it can't take it anymore as well.
Or it's just like we explode.
Yeah, we explode, or the cells turn toxic and turn cancerous, and all sorts of things can happen. So the actionable in that is, we all should be doing emotional healing work and be conscious of what is going on behind the scenes of our emotionality, our mentality, and our spirituality as well. That's an inherent part of healing and prevention in the first place, but also healing if we do have a temporary state of unwellness.
Right. So we can do more about the emotions because that we can control. But in terms of the environment itself, that I don't believe we can control everything. But if we are mindful enough, or we educate ourselves more on what are those things that can harm us chemically or whatever, then we can, guard ourselves.
That's
Don't
correct.
buy this, don't buy that, don't eat that, because you know what will happen.
Exactly. And that's a great frame that you just put on it, because you're right. We cannot, or I'm not going to say someone cannot, but it's very difficult to exist within the modern societies and
Yes.
avoid 100% of toxins. You're probably going to have
Correct.
some. But that's a lot of people slip into that doomer mentality of, oh, well, you can't avoid it. Everything gives you cancer. So I might as well just do whatever I want, drink high
Yeah.
fructose corn syrup. It doesn't
Unless
matter.
we move to the moon, right?
Yeah,
Go to
exactly.
Mars.
Yeah. So, do what you can. That just because you can't be perfect doesn't mean you have to throw the whole thing away and give up on yourself.
Correct.
What else is worth putting effort into other than maintaining your life and maintaining your quality of life while you are here?
Exactly. We only have one life. There's no
Maybe.
do-over. Unless
Maybe.
we
Who
are
knows?
very lucky. Unless we are very lucky, we are very blessed to
Absolutely.
have a do-over. All right. Now, can you share an example of how actually embracing holistic practices have changed outcomes for cancer patients?
Sure. So we've been in existence at the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education for approximately 47 years now. And through that time, we have no shortage of testimonials and success stories of all different parameters. We don't necessarily even know about all of them or I don't necessarily know about all of them because, not all of our coaches tell us all of their success stories, and certain clients don't want their story shared publicly, etc. But one that I do enjoy sharing, because it is a very interesting example of all avenues of cancer approach, is one that our founder experienced in her time in the field working with clients. So there was this woman that our founder was acquaintances with, and she was a high functioning executive at some company, some corporation, loved her job. It was, she felt it was fulfilling to her, etc. She also took care of her health well. She worked out, she ate clean, she did all the things so-called right that
Right. Yeah.
a lot of people find themselves saying. And she ended up with a cancer. She went the conventional avenues and got the cancer either radiated or cut out of her, etc. And then it came back. And I think there was a couple cycles of that until she said, whoa, Susan, our founder, what's going on here? She knew that Susan was into holistic cancer healing, etc. Of course, had this nonprofit organization that she ran. And so she started working with her, and they were trying to figure something out. They're like, all right, it keeps coming back. What's going on? And they came to realize that her job was actually killing her. Although at a conscious level, she loved it. She was fulfilled. She enjoyed the experience. She enjoyed her coworkers, etc. It was actually just energetically killing her. So she left that job, got a different job, a less financially impactful one, but a more emotionally fulfilling and impactful one, and actually ended up living the rest of her life never getting another recurrence of cancer. So
Good for her.
sometimes it's that simple, right? We could be doing all the things right in all these different regards, but our body will be screaming at us because something's not right. It's our responsibility to figure out what that is and give our body what it needs, because it'll tell us, but we have to listen.
Exactly. All right. Now, those were fantastic information and fantastic examples. Very inspiring. Thank you for that. Now, we've seen the transformative power of holistic care. Now, let's discuss the role of those who guide this journey. So now we move to the next topic, which is, why do we need a holistic cancer coach?
Yeah.
All right, so Zach, what makes a holistic cancer coach an essential ally in battling cancer? How they differ from the traditional medical staff?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'll always give the caveat that not everyone needs one, right? If someone is not on board with the holistic approach to health and wellness and life in general, I'm not here to say you need to do this. If someone wants to strictly go the conventional avenues, that's their prerogative and they have every right. And I'm not here to tell them that they're good or bad or right or wrong. Go for it, right? But if someone is interested in holistic healing and holistic approaches to cancer and cancer occurrences, a cancer coach can be a fundamental, important, and foundational team member of that experience, no matter what it looks like. So for someone that is holistic minded, but apprehensive or does want to go conventional avenues and wants to get holistic support on the side, that's an awesome use case of a holistic cancer coach, because the same kind of things that'll help us heal the body with cancer and prevent cancer in the first place will also help someone mitigate or not experience the side effects associated with conventional approaches like chemotherapy and radiation, etc. So many people that work with a holistic cancer coach, they are also going conventional approaches, and they're using the holistic care to support their body through that to not experience, the negative side effects. But there are also people that are ready and appropriate to go entirely holistically for them. And that's a scary thing even in and of itself, right? Because it's so open-ended. It's so open-ended. Well, what do I do? They're saying this fruit is good. They're saying this practice is good. They're saying that might be good. How do I choose, right? It could be overwhelming. And that's why a lot of people perhaps shy away from holistic philosophy, because there is no, this is the pegboard, 1 + 1 always equals 2.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very unique. There's so many different things to pick and choose from. And that leads people into a lot of overwhelmment, especially if they are new to researching these things when they are facing a cancer concern. It's one thing to try to wrap your head around holistic philosophy when you're just on a day-to-day basis. But when you add into that kind of a feeling of perhaps there's a clock that you're playing against, and perhaps there is, something that is stressing you out, zapping your body's resources a bit, such as any sort of unwellness, then it can feel really scary and really lonely.
Exactly.
It can feel really lonely, especially when, everyone's got an opinion. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, no matter what they do or don't know about health, they're going to be telling you, you should do this, you should do that. Perhaps because they love you, right? But perhaps they're just adding noise to the equation and being confusing.
Right.
So it can be a very isolating time, even amongst a community and a support structure, for those that don't necessarily understand how to mentally care for someone with a cancer recurrence. And then your doctor's telling you one thing, and you turn on the TV and it says one thing, and then you Google something and then it says a million different things, right? And so having a holistic cancer coach by your side in whatever capacity that you are working with them, it is like a guide through the experience. They're still going to empower you to do your own educating and learn along the way to empower you through education. But it's someone to kind of feed you the information at a digestible level, that has experience in the field with different people, perhaps has their own experience with cancer as well. And it's having not just a guide, but also an accountability partner, because then they can, make sure you're doing what you say you're going to do and what you need to do and what you have to do, but perhaps are avoiding for some reason. And it kind of works in all these different ways. It cuts out the noise. It's like, hey, this person's got me. I'm going to, work with them. They're going to give me the information in the order I need and in the order that is going to get me to where I need to be. And, it's a unique experience between every client and coach relationship. Everyone is a bit different, and it depends on where that person is and how that coach operates. But the beautiful thing at Beat Cancer is that we have hundreds of coaches all around the world. No matter what you're kind of looking for, whether it's someone geographically near you, culturally similar to you, male, female, different underlying philosophies within holistic health, there's a coach for everybody and everyone's vibe. And that's kind of the really cool thing about the expansive coaching program.
All right. My take on that is like, you're going to be more focused on getting better rather than your brain is scattered all over the place on what you need to do and all that, aside from you, of course, drinking your medicine and taking whatever traditional way of doing stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's limited resources mentally, emotionally, energetically. And so it helps optimize and operate with efficiency throughout the healing journey. Why not? We hire coaches for all sorts of things. You want to get fit, you hire a fitness coach. You want to learn piano, you hire a piano coach.
Exactly.
You want to heal cancer holistically, you get a holistic cancer coach.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, Zach, could you share a story or example where a holistic cancer coach really significantly impacted the patient's journey, aside from the story of Susan earlier, through cancer treatment?
Yeah. That's something I'm not going to have a super exciting answer for, because again, this is a sensitive matter, right? And it's not like we're, selling people a cup and someone can say, "Ooh, I really like that cup and this cup." Not every client is really wanting to have their story out there publicly. So unless they get explicit permission from that client, we do encourage our coaches to kind of keep things very private. So unfortunately, I don't have a super exciting answer for that, but they're out there. The stories are their stories to tell.
All right. No worries. Now let's shift gears to the next topic. Here we go. All right. Now, become a certified holistic cancer coach. So, Zach, for those inspired by the idea of actually becoming a holistic cancer coach, could you outline what certification process involves?
Yeah, absolutely. So our certification process involves taking our educational course that we sell. To be very clear, we have a variety of free programs here at the Center for Advancement in Cancer Education. We are not just course sellers. We have free programs that we give away as much as we can. But in the name of self-sufficiency and to maintain authenticity of our message and maintain, just doing our own thing, we sell courses to be able to fund the free programs. So I want to make that very clear. One of the programs that we sell is our Holistic Cancer Coach Certification Program. And so through that course, it's kind of separated into three segments, three tiers. The first tier will teach someone the core of our philosophy, the true mind, body, spirit approach, the philosophy that includes detoxification, the philosophy that includes having a proper healthy diet, the philosophy that includes stress management, pain management, etc. And all of these lessons are broken into modules All of these modules contain extensive scientific backing and sources cited, studies, etc., what have you. The second tier, building upon the first, dives deeper. It dives deeper both into the scientific side, talking about rationales for implementing specific protocols, criteria for evaluating certain diagnoses, but it also dives deeper into the spiritual side. That's where we really talk about the emotional correlates with certain types of cancer, the personality traits and habits that have been scientifically shown to be significantly correlated with certain organs getting cancer in the body. So then we dive deeper in that second level. And then the third level, the tail end of the course, will take what someone has learned in tier 1 and tier 2, and now this sets the stage for being a holistic cancer coach. It teaches you not just to apply that information to yourself and perhaps your loved ones, but to now start operating in an official capacity, and teaches them everything from, hey, how do you intake a patient, to how do you guide people through dietary change? Because people are people. People aren't robots. You can't just, as a coach, push these buttons and now that person's doing that, right? It's a little more nuanced than that. People can be stubborn. People can be emotionally tied to certain things. People can, just have a lot of different nuances going on to them. So that's what we teach in that level. It's one thing to know it for yourself. It's another thing to be able to help others. And then at the tail end of the course, there's a final exam. If someone passes the final exam, then they receive their certification as a holistic cancer coach, certified by beatcancer.org. And what they go on and do from there, it's various. Some people are independent entrepreneurial coaches, like a standard coach that you think of. Other people go on to take that certification and get hired by other organizations and other companies. Because we've been around for 47 years, people understand that we have a high caliber of people that we put out as coaches. So people come to us to hire into their organizations. Some people start their own nonprofits. Some people are religious leaders just because they want to help their congregation and they want the certification to be able to do so. There's a lot of different ways that people then operate as a coach, but no matter what they're doing and how they're doing it, we offer ongoing support to them getting the education out there and getting clients help through the business resources, through the networking connections. And, the program is so extensive beyond just receiving that initial certification. The real beauty is in that ongoing support and that coaches community that we are forever, interweaving even tighter. We have weekly calls where our coaches are chatting with each other. We have a Telegram group where they can chat 24/7. And in this way, we're able to continually support each other. And we, as the staff, are able to support them, getting them what they need, whatever that is, to be successful.
All right. Now, what qualifications or background should someone have if they are considering this certification? Is there a specific profile that fits best?
No, there's so many unique ways that people are holistic cancer coaches. We have anyone from cancer patients themselves, and that has two kind of splits there. We have cancer patients themselves who went conventional because they knew nothing else, experienced the detriments of that avenue and have deep regrets a lot of the time, and then come to learn about holistic cancer care and want to help people avoid the fate that they did, whether that was, getting organs of their body cut out that didn't necessarily have to be cut out and now have permanent ramifications, or anything else, right? So there's those people that become coaches, and perhaps this is their first introduction into holistic health and into the medical realm at all. There's also the patients that went holistic themselves, had a fantastic experience, whether that was through our educational outlets or their own independent research or outside research, and they see how beautiful that is and want to help people do the same. Then there's all sorts of professionals beyond that. We have people that are licensed massage therapists and Reiki practitioners, and they get a holistic cancer coach certification to either improve their work with existing clients or to add additional services onto their repertoire. We have health coaches, we have fitness coaches, but then we have people that are medical professionals or were medical professionals in different capacities. We have a ton of registered nurses who are still currently acting in that capacity or have stepped away from that because they've come to disagree with the philosophy of their career there. Of course, they can use their medical knowledge and work with clients to then impact their coaching career. We have people that are oncological surgeons. We have people that are immune cell protocol researchers at high levels. There's no one demographic. We have people that are young, hungry entrepreneurs that make six-figure businesses for themselves as a coach. People who just do it as a retirement business to give back to the community and charge just pennies on the dollar just for the sake of helping people. There is no one profile, whether you're an entrepreneur already or not, whether you're a medical professional already or not, whether you're a holistic healer or not. There's no reason why you can't start a business and start a entrepreneurial journey or an entrepreneurial journey, helping people if this is a mission that you feel aligned with, and we'll help you do that, whatever that means for you.
All right. Amazing and very interesting. All right. Let us then go to our next segment, which is the Q&A, just to follow up with all this discussion that we have. All right. Let me just put in the segment title. All right. Now, I have a question here. All right. This one. Can holistic cancer coaching be, helpful for someone who is in remission?
Absolutely. And that's a fantastic use case, because the instances and the statistics around recurrence are very unfortunately high. They're very, very high, right? And so especially if someone has gone a conventional approach to getting rid of cancer in their body right now,
right,
if the root cause hasn't been addressed of what had contributed to it in the first place, I'm not going to cast spells upon someone and say it's going to come back, but unfortunately, recurrence is high when we don't address root cause. So yeah, a holistic cancer coach can absolutely guide someone who is in remission to help it not come back, or lower the likelihood of it ever coming back. And then it's empowering that if it did come back in some sort of way, you'd be equipped already with that knowledge of what to do about it. And so then even it's not as scary anymore, and even not being scared about it, feeling empowered in health itself keeps us well.
All right. Okay, now for someone newly diagnosed with cancer, how soon should they actually consider integrating these holistic practices into their treatment plan?
That goes back to my rule number one. Why not now?
Speed.
Why not now? Speed. And of course, that always comes with a caveat of it's important not to get overwhelmed. But there's always something that we can do. There's always that first step that we can take. And the sooner you start taking a step, the sooner you get where you want to go. The sooner you get in your car, the sooner you get to the destination, right? And so, yeah, there's something that we can all do right now to start moving in a direction. There's really no reason to wait. It's it can be scary, but you have to take the leap of starting to act.
Yeah. All right. Now, what is the first step to take if, say, I want to explore holistic treatments, but I don't know where to start?
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're here for at beatcancer.org, right? We have so many educational programs for free that someone can start to dip their toes into learning different things and figure out what's for them. Our weekly calls happen at Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those are totally free, totally low pressure, totally no commitment. Anyone can come on and ask questions just like that. But we don't have a one-size-fits-all answer, right? Because everyone's circumstances are unique, both demographics-wise, life experience-wise, current state of health-wise, what type of cancer are we talking about? I can't give a specific, these are first steps. They're different for everybody. But the first steps would be getting plugged into our community programs, and then we just kind of start to shape the experience from there. Whether that is going to be working with one of our holistic cancer coaches, whether that is going to be taking the course yourself if you find that's appropriate for you, whether that is going to be working with our free in-house counselor that we offer. There's so many different programs that we offer, and everyone's unique in their experience. And we're happy to point you in the right direction. So beatcancer.org. Weekly calls is how you find that, a tab right at the top, or anyone is welcome to email me and get pointed in the right direction.
All right. Now, if I'm interested to becoming a holistic cancer coach, how much time should I expect to dedicate to training?
Yeah, that's a question I get a lot, right? And so we at 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬, we don't heavily police our coaches going through the course.
Mm.
What does that mean? Well, we're not on top of you saying, "Oh, did you put in your 8 hours today? Did you put in your hour today?" Whatever, you know?
Right.
It's up to everyone's individual sovereignty to do as they must, and do as they can, and do as they shall. So the course itself, if someone really wants to sit down and run through it in a weekend, they could probably do that if they dedicate their whole day to it, right? But on a more digestible level, and if you explore all of the tangential resources contained within every single module, you can spend several months going through the program itself. Because the program, the way it's set up, it's a video lesson, there's a quiz, there's supplementary reading, and very often on most of the lessons, there is just a myriad of links to supplementary information, be it internal to our blogs, etc., or external information from others, that if you really dig through every bit of information and get the most out of it, it can take you a very long time. But that's good. It's because it's value. So how much time should I expect to dedicate to training?
Yeah, on average, yes.
Probably like maybe three to 4 months if you go through it at a reasonable pace. And a lot of people go through it several times, and because you kind of get reminders of different things each time.
All right. Now, in the interest of time, of course, I have a lot of other questions, but yes, I will end the Q&A here. Thank you so much, Zach. And we are going to move to the next segment, which is the All right, so welcome back again, fantastic Bambams. Today's discussion with Zakariya Frank has deepened our understanding of how holistic approaches can revolutionize cancer care. So it is clear that treating the whole person, not just the disease, is key to genuine healing and long-term health. So I can't thank you enough, Zach, for the enlightening conversation that we've had. And it's been an eye-opener for many of us as we moved into the Work with the Expert segment. Please share with us, with our audience, about the opportunities to engage with your programs and potentially become holistic cancer coaches themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, we have a variety of programs. I'm not here to just sell courses, etc. I am here to tell people whatever they need that gets them where they need to be. Whether that is working with our in-house counselor who we offer counseling with for absolutely free, whether that is attending our weekly calls, which are very free to the public to just get the help that they need, whether that is engaging in our Facebook groups where you can post questions and kind of get Q&As there, or if that is taking one of our educational courses that we sell. The courses are set up to be beneficial to everybody, whether that's a patient themselves, a caregiver, a family member of a patient, an educator, a speaker, a medical professional, or someone that wants to become a holistic cancer coach themselves. And there's, of course, overlap with that last one and all the other sections I just mentioned. So you can do that at 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬.org. If you want to hit up the weekly calls, click weekly call in the top bar. If you want to check out the courses, click courses in the top bar. If you want to contact me directly, if you want me to point you in the right direction, you can email me at zfrank@𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬.org. That's ZFRANK@𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬.org. If you want to get connected with me at the podcast that Ritz mentioned at the beginning, I also run a holistic health and wellness podcast that I cover not just cancer specific things, but holistic health and wellness overall, whether that's mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, familial health, and anything really, any combination of the above or anything in between. And yeah, I do that at 𝐓𝐴𝐻𝐿.com. You could find the podcast on your favorite platform, whatever you enjoy listening to podcasts on. And if anyone has inquiries on the personal podcast side of things, they can contact me at 𝐓𝐴𝐻𝐿@gmail.com. That's ZAK 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬 𝐄𝐩𝐢𝐬@gmail.com.
All right, Zach, it's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for sharing your expertise and for the impactful work you do in holistic cancer care.
Thank you very much for having me on, Ritz. This is it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Zakariya Frank. All right, to our dear audience, to our FAMBAM, thank you for joining us and engaging in this important conversation. Keep exploring the paths, so these paths to wellness, and remember you have the power to influence your health journey. So remember the key to growth is continual learning and adaptation. Keep pushing the boundaries and what you can achieve. So for those of you watching, if you're inspired by Zach's message, and want to learn more about how you can work with him to unlock your to learn more about being a holistic cancer coach, be sure to check out his website. It's running at the bottom. All right, and connect with him as well in social media. All right, my fam bam, next on Talking Business with Ritz, here we go. Our next episode is all about money matters, a topic that is near and dear to us as in the entrepreneurial space. So our guest speaker next Saturday is coming from the business coaching and consulting space. All right, so mark your calendar on May 25, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. on Mountain, and 10 a.m. Central. And of course, if you're on my side of the world, that's 11 p.m. Okay, here we go. All right. If you find this helpful and entertaining and you learn a lot today, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more inspiring episodes. Until next time, keep striving and keep thriving. This is Ritzel, Loredo-Rectra, and our expert guest, Zakariya Frank. Stay safe and healthy, everybody, as we continue talking business with Ritz. Bye, everybody.